Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez Moreno. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're also charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Yes, Judge. On December 8th, 2024, the officers were on patrol and were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance and unknown weapon call. The officer performed a public service to the female caller, the complainant, and spoke with the caller, and the caller was upset, sad, hysterical, and crying. The officer heard the caller say, "Come help me, please," and where she was in the apartment. The officer made it to the 7th floor and observed a male standing in the hallway, packing and unpacking a bag. The officer received confirmation that the male was the defendant by the complainant, and the defendant ran into the apartment and locked the front residence door. The officer knocked multiple times and announced himself as police, and the complainant answered the door, crying, upset, and frightened. The officers instructed the complainant to walk outside, and she did as instructed, and the officer observed the defendant following behind the complainant. The officer grabbed the defendant as he was standing inside the apartment near the front door and pulled the defendant to the hallway and detained him. The defendant was informed that he was detained for family violence and continually tried to enter his apartment while being handcuffed. The defendant impeded the investigation by attempting to enter his apartment multiple times, and the defendant also impeded the investigation when the officers were escorting him to the patrol vehicle and refusing to get inside the vehicle. The officer asked the defendant to get inside the vehicle multiple times, but he refused, and the officer had to use force to get the defendant inside the vehicle. The complainant advised the defendant is her boyfriend and they have been in a relationship for 20 months. The complainant advised they do not live together and that they had both been drinking alcohol, and as a result of going to the Lincoln bar today, they were inside the suspect's vehicle when they were leaving the bar when the defendant began hitting on and flirting with other girls. The complainant advised the suspect was antagonizing deputies and security at the bar and driving around in circles at the bar, attempting to get the deputies to engage him in a fight. The complainant advised she informed the defendant that, she informed the defendant that she wanted him to stop flirting with and hitting on other girls, and the complainant advised that this made the defendant mad, and as a result, he pulled her by the hair inside the vehicle. The complainant advised she felt pain when the defendant pulled her by the hair.
Okay. I see that he has a prior same complaining witness.
Let me see, Your Honor.
It's from April of this year.
It is the same complainant, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez Moreno, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand? If I find that you have contact, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all cost. Do you understand? If that means putting you in and making your bond high, I will do it in a heartbeat. I'm now placing a protective order on this person. She is now a protected individual. If you try to have contact with this person, if you try to use another person to try to have contact, if you threaten, if you harass, if you're in possession of a weapon, if you go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works, the state can and may file. I want you to listen to me, and I want you to hear me loud, and I want you to hear me clear, Mr. Rodriguez Moreno, because if there's one person that will be at fault, it's because you didn't hear me sufficiently. Hear me now, because you will not get any more warnings. This protective order is going in place, and if you violate it one iota, the state can file additional charges on you, a violation of protective order. You violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond. Zero bond, and I'll do it in a heartbeat to protect every single person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're also not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, you will go in. I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? we are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you first go to, do we have?
I was
protective
gonna ask
order?
if I can get a comment from the lawyer.
That's December 9.
Hmm?
He does have December 9. That was the issue.
What do you do for a living?
Construction, I built and installed.
I need you to fill out an application. I don't know whether you qualify. Did I give you a free lawyer in April? I did. Now you're here. 5 months later, back, another charge, same complaining witness. I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look, but I want every single line filled out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Rodriguez.